John Lorden here. Welcome to another episode of Case Cracked. This one recorded for March 20th, 2018. We have a really interesting case to cover today. We have the scene of a car accident that is discovered, but could it also be the scene of a murder? This one is called Murder in the Brass City and was co-researched and co-written by my associate producer, Christy Strasinger. Thank you so much for the help on this one, Christy. Waterbury, Connecticut is the 10th largest city in the New York metropolitan area, with a population of over 110,000 people. In its early days, the city was known for manufacturing brass products, earning it the nickname the Brass City. Evelise Santiago is a lot like other active 16-year-olds. She loves fashion and makeup and enjoys baking. In school, she learned to play drums and the violin, and she loves to sing. Her favorite band is 5 Seconds of Summer, and she likes watching the Food Network. She was born in Waterbury and supports her local AHL team, the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. People close to her call her Evie or Eva. She was recently transferred to Wilby High School from Crosby High School. Now a sophomore, Evie dreams of becoming a lawyer someday. She also has a secret that most of her family did not know. December 4th, 2017, 8:30 p.m. A Nissan veers off Thomaston Avenue, hitting several utility poles, breaking one of them completely in half, and finally coming to rest on the lawn of a house. The power was knocked out to the mixed residential and industrial neighborhood, affecting over 140 customers. Neighbors try to help as the car catches fire. First responders arrive and discover that 2 people are in the vehicle. And for one of those passengers, unfortunately, their life has come to an end. But possibly not because of the crash. Upon removing her body, they find that Evelise Santiago has been shot 3 times, twice in the head and once in the hand. The man in the car with Evelise was Dominique Pittman. Although he sustained minor injuries from the crash, he was otherwise fine. Police also find a .357 caliber handgun in the vehicle. Dominique Pittman worked in a local warehouse for the previous 5 years and is father to 3 children with an older relative of Evelise's. This relative is either her sister or her aunt. News sources, unfortunately, are reporting this relationship differently. Pittman and the relative have been together for 6 years. However, Pittman was also involved in an affair with Evelise for an undetermined amount of time. The age of consent in Connecticut is 16. However, Evelise had only been that age for a few months. Her birthday was October 21st, 2001. In one interview with WFSB, Evelise's father implied that Pittman and the woman that fathered his children were also married. Quote, "He was my son-in-law," he said. "I just want the truth. He was dating my daughter, and he has 3 kids with my other daughter." When police took Pittman into custody for questioning, they were told 3 very different stories. The first was that he had taken Evelise to pick up her boyfriend. While in the car, an argument broke out between the 2. Pittman heard gunshots, and when he looked, Evelise was slumped over. Then the boyfriend ran from the car. Of course, Pittman doesn't know or remember the boyfriend's name. The second story was that Evelise wanted to buy a winter coat. To coerce Pittman into giving her the money, she pulled a knife on him and proceeded to threaten him with it. She supposedly cut a key fob from his keychain to support her threats. She then pulled a gun that she knew he kept in the center console. The 2 fought over the gun. Evelise was accidentally shot and the car wrecked. Accidentally shot, once in the hand and twice in the head. Again, police pressed him on inconsistencies, as well as threatening to DNA test to see if Evelise was pregnant or if the 2 of them might have been sleeping together. At that point, Pittman broke down and gave them a 3rd story. This time, he claimed that he indeed had been having an affair with Evelise as recently as November. She had FaceTimed him to pick her up, and she was threatening to tell her family member about their affair. The argument escalated. They were struggling over the gun, and Evilise was shot. According to the warrant for Pittman's arrest, which was released after his arraignment, he clearly admitted to Waterbury detectives that he shot Evilise. However, Pittman still proclaims the incident was an accident. 2 shots to the head and a defensive wound to the hand may be hard to prove as accidental in a court of law. His bail has been set at $3 million. He is using a public defender, and a mental evaluation has also been ordered. The family is in shock. Some don't believe the two were having an affair. Others feel as though these revelations have completely destroyed their worlds. In December, a GoFundMe was set up to help pay for funeral expenses. It has since been closed, but according to reports I've seen, it raised at least $800. Quote, "I want to say to everyone, Evilise was my angel. I am so proud of her, no matter whether she is here right now with me," Wanda Plaza, mother of Evilise, said. "I am destroyed right now because she had so many things she wanted to do in life." At the end of one of Dominique Pittman's initial court dates, friends of Evilise were outside the courthouse and said they did not think that she had a sexual relationship with Pittman. Pittman's friends yelled and swore at reporters and even picked a fight with Evilise's friends, all the while insisting Pittman was innocent. When asked to explain their statements, they responded to the media by swearing. Police said Pittman has also been charged with weapons violations, including carrying a pistol without a permit and having weapons in a motor vehicle. Police have stated they are actually unsure which killed Evilise first, the crash or the gunshots. I'm wondering if Pittman's defense team will try to exploit that, or if the coroner's report will possibly make a very clear determination for cause of death there. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information on that. Evilise's father, who I believe some news sources have actually been incorrectly citing as her grandfather, Francisco Rivera, said, quote, "Nobody knows nothing until something happens. That's when we all realize the tragedy. It was under our noses and we didn't see it. We go on with life. He looks at 4 walls and figures out what he did wrong." Case cracked. And a bit of a tough one. It's really upsetting to see these families be so broken in this way. And then you have this extra layer of this deception that was going on between, I believe that they were sisters. Like I mentioned, I can't tell you for sure if it was her sister or her aunt. But in any case, you have the tragedy of her death being compounded by the fact that there was some deception going on with relationships within the family. And you have a 16-year-old's life cut way too short, way too soon. On top of all this, I have seen several reports stating that she was actually adopted. I don't know if this might have been an adoption that happened within the family, so perhaps that might explain some of the confusion about the father versus grandfather or the aunt versus sister. But I didn't want to really harp on that too much. It wasn't really that pertinent to the story outside of giving you just a little more backstory about Evilise. And according to her obituary, they were very clear who her parents were. And obviously, I represented that in this version of the story. I have seen some quotes from her biological father, who obviously is also very heartbroken and upset about this and feels bad that he didn't live that close to her. So bit of a heartbreaker, but very interesting case. I'm really curious to see how this plays out in court. I'm really curious to understand more, particularly if the coroner's report comes in as a piece of evidence, which I'm almost certain it will. If anything interesting really develops there in terms of something unexpected, I'll be sure to let all of you know about it. But for now, considering we have the weapon found, we know no one else was in the car, I feel pretty confident that this case is a case cracked and that Dominique is going to be spending a lot of time paying for what he did to this very young girl. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I'm also releasing another video today with an update on the brain scratch from Friday about the Austin serial package bomber. So you might not want to miss that. If you come over there, I'll see you there. If not, come on back to the Lord and Arts channel tomorrow. Take care.